All right, not really sure what happened there. I was trying to get a little bit of the idiots in traffic in front of me and just their inability. Wow, that guy's got Jesus cares painted all over his car. Good for him. Anyways, somehow I messed up the camera as I was trying to transition it into the front camera so you can see the idiots in front of me that don't know how to get up to speed and merge into traffic. But since I couldn't get that on camera, I'll just describe it to you like that and then say that if you are someone who's merging into traffic on the highway and you don't get up to at least what I'll call a minimum speed of people traveling on that highway or interstate, you are a terrible human being. You are one of the worst people on earth. Like, you have a extended on-ramp that has been designed by whoever from an engineering standpoint that knows that you should be able to accelerate and get up to speed in the necessary time. And everyone else who's on this road does not owe some sort of safety to you where we all need to be looking out like, ooh, look at this person who needs to get on track and merge into traffic with the rest of us. Let's all get out of their way. No. You need to get up to speed. You need to be able to look at those cars, use your mirrors, and figure out where and how am I going to merge into this traffic. Stop making it the ownership of everyone else around you and own it yourself. Get up to speed, do it safely, and merge into traffic when it's safe to do so. And stop thinking that you can just force your way over that line and hope that everybody else behind you that you're now slowing down by a plus 15 miles an hour has to react properly because of you. Bunch of terrible human beings out there. That's what I got for today's daily drive. Bunch of garbage drivers out there. I'm probably one of them to a lot of people, but I doubt it. I mean, there's definitely people out there that got mad at me and probably flipped me off, but here's the thing. I have to pull out in front of somebody, or I accidentally pull out in front of somebody. We've all been in a scenario where you've been waiting forever and you can't get out into traffic. You can finally get out into traffic and you just make the decision to pull out in front of somebody and you feel like terrible. Or maybe you actually have looked both ways, looked again, you didn't see this car and you pull out in front of them, and the next thing you look in your mirror, you're like, holy cow, where'd that car come from? I must have pulled out in front of them and cut them off. If that person pulls up next to me and flips me off, I am like, yes, I am sorry, I am an idiot, my bad. Like, I would do that motion to you through my window, like, me the problem, me bad. Other person's the problem, they're getting both birds, right? Like, that just is what it is. You're getting two middle fingers, and if I was close enough to you and I had a cigarette, I'd probably have one lit up and then spike it on your car if I got the chance, right? Like, I will hang out my driver's side window if you are in the lane to the left of me to have an opportunity to throw something at your car if I think you are a garbage enough person. So, if you are someone out there who's merging onto the highway going 45, 50 when it's 70, if you are someone who's constantly pulling out in front of people and find out that you always seem to be the person who's getting a horn honked at them, you get flipped off a lot by people in traffic, maybe just own it. Maybe just take it and own it and be like, hey, that's me. I'm a bad driver, but hey, I'm still out here on these roads because I'm legal, so it is what it is. I know I'm bad, but at least I accept that I'm bad, and you all just got to deal with it. But when the person who's going 60 in a 70 thinks that they are morally above the rest of us and that they are, I don't know, we'll call them God's speeding police, I hate that person. I genuinely want the worst for them. I want them to have children at home. I want them to get a cancer diagnosis themselves, to fight back really hard and to beat it so they can be there for their kids, just for their kids to get hit by a school bus. Like, that's what I want for them. That's what I want for people that don't know how to drive and don't deserve to drive. And I'm not out here saying that I'm judge, jury, and executioner. Like, I don't get to make any of this stuff occur, and I'm not the only person out here judging all this other traffic. But I know that I don't get flipped off that often. I don't get a horn honked at me almost ever. I'm never the dude who's waiting in a red light because I'm staring at my phone, texting, or I'm driving. Like, that's just not me. It's not my habits. So for all the people that have those habits that I'm calling out, go F yourself. Hope you know you're a POS. Nobody likes you. It's a good daily drive, right? We're all of 15 minutes in here. Well, we got a 10-minute segment and a 5-minute segment, and I don't even know if I can merge those videos together or not, or if I just got to upload two separate videos because I made that mistake earlier and actually backed out of the video recording. I don't know. I'll figure that all out later, though, because it ain't that important right now. What's important right now is that we're not using nicotine while we drive home for 2 weeks in a row. And that is something that makes Mason feel good inside. And if you want to join me on a quest to quit something or stop a bad habit or whatever, however we can do this together, I'm more than happy to support you. More than happy to, have your back. Maybe you're trying to quit. Like, I can tell you right now that one thing that's been said to me by fellow people that know that I, like people I go out and vape with, or maybe somebody I'd have cigarettes with. They might say like, you know what they say, mom didn't raise a quitter. You're right, my mom didn't raise a quitter. She didn't. But like, this is not me quitting something that my mom wouldn't want me to quit. So that analogy, while simple, doesn't work here. It's kind of like when people get blood is thicker than water wrong, or better be a jack of all trades than jack of one, or whatever. Like, people get those phrases wrong. They've lost their meaning over time. Well, mom didn't raise a quitter. You're right. She also didn't raise a drug addict. So here we are. I think that's how I like to look at it. Keeps my mind in the right place. Sometimes you just got to keep it simple, stupid. Keep it simple, stupid. A little kiss. Go chug. What else do people want to hear about on the daily drive? Something that I specifically would like to talk about on the daily drive today is we were at work discussing selling feet pics, right? Me, a couple dudes, and a woman or two, just having the conversation of like, you think there's actually that many people out there that are like selling pictures of their feet? Like, I've seen TikToks, Instagram Reels, whatever, where like some guy's interviewing people and like the young woman is like, oh, I make this much money selling feet pics, or like feetfinder.com. So I just assume those are ads for those websites, right? Even if it doesn't say it's an ad, that's what I assume. And so then we were talking about it, and one of the women was like, I've sold a picture of my foot before to one guy. Like, one guy that I used to work with at a crappy part-time job asked me if he could buy a picture of my feet back in the day, and I didn't think anything of it. I sold no picture of my feet, but in retrospect, I might not do that now. I gotta tell you, if the universe was full of people that wanted to see Mason Langendorf for his ugly feet, like, I will send the pictures to anyone, like 50 cents, I don't care. Give me fucking 2 quarters. I probably shouldn't swear like that, sorry. Give me 2 quarters, I don't care, like 50 cents, and we'll call it a day, and I'll send you a picture of these monstrous feet. I'll give you a picture of some toe jam and some foot fungus and whatever the heck else you want. But I know people are looking for probably like a really pretty woman's feet, which I don't really even understand how feet are pretty, because it's not my fetish, but whatever. It's neither here nor there for me. I'm just trying to understand, like, how many people do you think actually make like a livable income off of their feet pictures? Or maybe not even a livable, but like, imagine like $500 a month for your feet. That'd be pretty wild. So would $300 a month would be wild to me. If somebody wanted to pay $300 a month to see pictures of Erica's feet, I'd freaking post them for her. I wouldn't care. So I find it fascinating, just that whole world of, I should say, that whole part of the world where people pay for some of the weirdest things, right? Like, OnlyFans is obvious. Like, people have been paying for porn since porn became premium, probably, because that's how people are, or at least that's how men are. So people have been paying for sex, premium sex, for as long as, I don't know, as long as prostitution's been around, which is probably centuries, if not thousands of years. So I'm not amazed that people will pay for like sex, but like feet pics, like just pictures of feet. It's so bizarre to me, because I feel like I should probably be able to just Google images, whatever my desire of foot style is. Like, I want to see really wide feet. I want to see some really long, narrow ones, some really short ones, really tiny toes, or whatever the heck it is that people are into, right? I should just be able to Google most of that. So I'm a little, I don't know, I don't want to say intrigued, but fascinated by like feet pics specifically, and just the fact that people will pay for that, when I think people would pay for a lot of stuff, but just something you can get for free. Like, then I think about like the porn route. Like, people are like, well, people pay for porn and you can get porn for free, and that's, both of those statements are true, but like, maybe you're paying for a specific porn star or whatever. Like, I guess maybe the same idea applies to feet. I just can't imagine that there's that much variation in feet. Like, feet can't look, I mean, like, there's no way that everyone's feet look so much different that like this one specific male or woman is like, they've got the feet that are the equivalent to like the LeBron James of feet in the biological lottery. The idea that that's a thing in this world just blows my mind. Oh, I got some heartburn there. Oh, I do have my water. That's good. Hey, don't forget, drink your water. Stay hydrated. I mean, I was probably drinking a Mountain Dew in the last video, but don't buy it regularly. Don't buy it consistently. It's like a treat. Things are going well, or something happened that, I want to enjoy a cold cola instead of just a swig of water. I don't know why. I really do like carbonation, but I've never been as big of a fan of carbonated water, so I don't feel like getting one of those carbonation machines or whatever. I did try Zip Fizz for a while. It was okay. It doesn't make it fizzy enough, though. It doesn't give me enough for me to feel suffice on the carbonation level, right? So, but Zip Fizz was cool. Right now, though, just plain water. I didn't even have any liquid IV. I do prefer liquid IV over plain water. Plain water is rough for me, especially if I don't have enough ice in there. And just some room temperature plain water is about as awful of a drink as I can name. I actually assume that only things that taste bad, that has to be like neutral, as negative net, or as net neutral as possible, and then everything worse than that is like, old, stale, whatever type drinks, or deflated, not enough soda in there when you get a pop from the gas station, or when you get a pop from a fast food place and there's not enough actual syrup in there or whatever, you just get a bunch of that carbonated water. That tastes terrible, right? But like that lack of flavoring, creating a new terrible flavor, is still better to me than plain water. I'd rather drink that and be like, ugh, every time, but at least have some sort of flavor or taste. Than like I drink this water and it's just nothing. Water is the epitome of the taste of nothing to me. People are like, what do you mean water tastes like water? No, water tastes like nothing. Water has no taste. It's bizarre. It's just my opinion. You can tell me whatever you want. I don't really care. Oh, who lives in a pineapple under the sea? It's a SpongeBob. Man, the car finally, hopefully, continues to have nothing wrong with it. Had to have work done to it twice in the last 30 days, which is not fun. To spend just over $3,000 on my car, so that's poopy, right? Big sad poopy boy time. So you just want it to not be that way. You want to spend as little money as possible. You want to make sure that you're, what do I say? Taking advantage of the time when you don't have a car payment, right? You don't want to be putting X amount of dollars on your credit card and then paying that off every month. You might as well have a car payment. You don't want to just have to slap a bunch of money on it over and over again. So now I got to hope that I go for an extended period of time of what I'll call good maintenance. Just oil changes, tire rotations, and hope that I can go X amount of time without needing new tires, new brakes, new whatever, and save some money. So that's the game. I just finished The Psychology of Money. It's a good book. I would tell anybody out there who's maybe struggling with their own personal finances, or with their own relationship with money, if you want to call it that. It's a good book to listen to, give you a little insight, a little perspective. You don't really even have to be struggling to. You could be in a good situation and probably still benefit from the book, but if you're in a pretty good situation, in terms of like when you're going to retire, how much your income is now compared to your spending, so, how much are you saving each month, right? If you're in what you yourself would consider a good position now, it's not like you necessarily gain anything less from the book. There just might be some chapters where you're like, I've been exercising that strategy, and I'm glad to hear that, X amount of other people, or this guy, whatever, would also use that strategy, this author. So, but there's some good tidbits in there. Some good stories, really good short stories in there. It's not a long book. I think the total book is less than 6 hours, so to me that's a pretty big win. If I feel like I can gain a lot of information in less than 6 hours, that means I can pretty much listen to the whole book in 1 week of driving if I chose to listen to it at least every day. But you know, sometimes you gotta get that title in there, I gotta get to that music. Like right now, there's probably things I could continue to talk about, but since I'm not really feeling the daily drive today, and I'm not really feeling the need to go grab some nicotine, I got enough gas, I'm gonna get home and walk my dogs. Maybe I'll do a little walk and talk later, but because I don't feel too stressed out or anything today, I'm probably gonna cut today's daily drive a little bit short, listen to some music, just gonna jam out before I get home and walk the doggos. It is a little hot today, it is a little humid. Wish I could have got home a little earlier, and or I wish it was just nice and overcast for me to take them on a walk. Because I know that the 84, 85 degrees sucks for the Huskies. A lot of our walk is on concrete sidewalks. I don't know if they're too hot, but I know that they're not cool. So I guess it is what it is. I try to take care of them, bring water, make sure they get as much time in the grass or the shade as possible. Kind of strategically plan my sidewalk travels based on which homes have the best trees that provide the most shade, etc. It all is what it is, right? They're just happy to get outside and go for a walk, and I always feel better afterwards, right? So that's all I really got for today. I appreciate everybody who's been here. We're 2 weeks in. 2 weeks in with no nicotine, and I guess we'll see what we can do going from day 14 to day 15 and beyond. But thanks everybody, and keep being you.